Hello guys, and welcome back to Titanium Cat Airsoft. Today I am going to talk to you about the Hudson H9 by EMG. First off, it's a really nice box. It comes with some gimmicky licensing stuff and the actual gun right here. And it also comes with external safeties which you can choose to put on your gun. Let's put that aside first. So this is the Hudson H9, which came to market around 2017 and caused a huge buzz in SHOT Show then, due to its unique appearances. And this airsoft copy is brought to life by EMG and OEMs by WE. So I've had this gun for one night and one night only, and I'm going to quickly talk about the things I noticed about the gun. So basically, the most distinct feature of the gun is of course this bulge underneath the nose of the gun, which is not usual in normal guns. And this is actually the unique design of the gun, where the recoil spring sits here, allowing the slide to sit much lower to the frame, making the grip bore axis much lower. The bore axis is the distance between the barrel and your hand. So basically, allowing your hand to sit much closer to the barrel. What this does is gets rid of the lever arm, which if your lever arm is here, then the gun will flip much more. So the closer you are, the gun flips much less, and therefore your recoil is managed much better. Another feature of this gun is that it heavily borrows the ergonomics of the 1911, and therefore the grip angle and the overall shape and size of this gun is very close to a 1911, which makes it really comfortable in the hand. Another thing it borrows from the 1911 is that it has a straight pull trigger, which makes for a much better shooting experience, in my opinion. I'm going to quickly go over the features of the gun. So firstly, it has a double stacked mag, which is great because if you've got a Marui 1911, you have the really thin mag and it doesn't hold much gas and it cools down really quickly. So a double stacked mag is much better. Then we move up to the controls. We've got a right-handed, I think it's swappable, mag release. Yep, I think that looks very swappable. And also ambidextrous slide release. And this ambidextrous slide release is really good because normally in airsoft guns, ambi slide releases are really flimsy. So if you like try this side, sometimes it just bends and doesn't actually release the slide. But this one's actually really solid. So that's really good. Okay. Going on to the trigger, it has a safety trigger, and honestly, when I first picked this up, I did not like this, but slowly I got used to it, because if you don't grip the gun like perfectly, and you might hit the bottom of the trigger when you want to shoot, and it kind of stops it. You have to get at least to the middle of the trigger. But once I started playing around with it, I got used to it and it didn't really bother me too much. The trigger feel of this gun is pretty nice. Once you get rid of the safety, the take-up is very small, and then you hit the wall, and then bang. And then the release is very short. It's not really audible or very tactile, but you know it's there. So it's a really nice trigger. What pulling the trigger feels like is kind of like a WE Glock trigger, where you're like releasing the hammer, that kind of feel, but with a straight trigger, which is much better than the Glock trigger. The serrations on this gun are brilliant, I think, because they are really nice and deep. You've got front and back ones, and also if you notice, the front serrations, the forward bits, are deeper than the backward bits. So this gives you even more grip, and they're the same for both. And I really like that. The sights are a U notch at the back and a really, really ugly plastic insert front. But the sights are actually really good because I do prefer the U notch with a blacked out U notch with a colored front, and they are really easy to pick up. I might do something about that though. That plastic is really annoying. You've got fake G10 grips, which actually look pretty nice. You've also got a light rail down here, but I think this is actually really obsolete because I've got my Surefire X300 here, and if you mount it on, it is way too low. It doesn't make any sense to add this on, and it looks really weird. So that's kind of pointless, but it's good to have it, I guess. And then there's top serrations, which are decorative. Apparently it kind of reduces glare, but it's more decorative, which I like. It's very classic 1911-esque. There's a really, really nice high beaver tail here for you to really get up on the gun and get really close to the barrel, and I really like that. This gun actually feels so good to hold. But I did have to get used to the low bore axis because my left hand thumb usually has somewhere to sit on, but because this is so high, it's sitting on the slide, so I have to get used to kind of putting it down here. But that's something you can get used to, I guess. Also, this part is where you can change out those external safeties and add those on. And I might consider doing that, putting the safety on and trying to get rid of that so I can have a condition 1 pistol, but I'm still thinking maybe I should. So now I'm going to talk about what bothers me about the gun. Firstly, it shoots really weirdly, because when I line up the sights like you're supposed to, the BBs are supposed to hit right on the front sight. But this gun shoots really low. The BB actually lands somewhere on the bottom of the front sight. So I've tried playing with the hop up, but nothing helped. So I don't know if it's my gun shooting low or there's a hop up problem or anything. I haven't had time to check yet, but that's kind of weird. But apart from that, the accuracy is alright for what range I've tried, like around 7 meters. That's all I have. Another thing I don't like is that this part is wrong. Because what this part does is, the real thing has a slope here, which allows the mag to kind of be guided in. But this is a really squared off bit for some reason. And I'm gonna take a file and actually file a slope in, because right now if you like insert the mag a bit wrong, it kind of gets hung up there and it really annoys me. And then finally, the final thing that I kind of don't like is that the front strap serrations are actually really flat. If you can see there, the curve is really flat, and therefore making this quite blocky. If you look at a 1911, it is much more curved, and therefore it's much more comfortable. But this is really squared off. So it's still a really comfortable gun, but it could be better if this middle part protrudes more. But I'm just nitpicking. This gun is pretty damn good, apart from the shooting low thing, which I'm not sure if it's only me or all of them do that. Now I'm gonna quickly take it apart. First you take the mag out, then like a 1911 you push the thing from this side, but unlike a 1911 it doesn't come out. So now it's like a P226 where you swing it down and you cock your hammer and it all comes off. Well, that doesn't happen. Everything's harder when you're doing it on camera. So now you've got your hop up there, hop up adjustment there, a very standard affair. your blowback housing, very Glock-like. And then the unique thing is that the recoil spring is right here, just like the real thing, and you can't pull it out without dismantling it. And then you've got the fire control. It's a very, very Glock-like hammer with a 1911 disconnector. How strange is that? And even more strange is if you can see those little silver parts inside. That's a 1911 leaf spring with only 2 arms because the grip safety is non-existent. What you can also see inside is that the trigger has a trigger ring. You can see, yep, trigger ring right there, just like an airsoft 1911. So there we go, it's kind of a blend between a Glock and a 1911 airsoft gun. So putting it back together is exactly the same in reverse. Just slide it on, hook it back, swing this back, push it back in, there we go. That's pretty much it for the Hudson H9. I really like the look of this gun. I think it's a really classy, sleek looking yet modern gun. And I think this is the future of what guns should be. But the real factory's gone bankrupt, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I think this is a really good step forward in gun design. Like low bore axes, out of the box thinking, good looks, everything. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching again. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and also you can like my Facebook page as well. Thank you.